Hi, I'm Rachel and I'm the founder of Seeds. And today I wanted to talk to you about the 2023 Seed Staking Bonus, specifically about three things. The first is how it's beneficial to you. The second is how it's helped people in need around the world. And then lastly, I want to give you a quick staking demonstration in case that's useful. So the first way staking can be beneficial to you is in the form of airdrops. And if that term's unfamiliar, it's basically free money that shows up as a surprise magically in your wallet because you chose to stake. For example, in late 2020, there was a uni airdrop that was enormous, and everybody who'd chosen to stake in the Seeds pool that we're discussing today also benefited from that and got free money. It was amazing, and I was actually kicking myself because as grateful as I was for the free money I got, and I had staked a good percentage of the seeds in Ether that I owned, I'd also left a big chunk of seeds in Ether, a big percentage of what I owned, in a wallet that I just chose to not use for staking. And there wasn't any real reason. And if I had taken 5 minutes to stake that cryptocurrency as well, I literally would have received enough additional funding in that uni airdrop to have been able to buy a house. So don't be like me, do your best to try and take advantage of that opportunity because it really can be incredible. So when you're staking, you're providing liquidity so that the marketplace exists, and traders are then using that liquidity to execute trades. So when they're paying fees for those trades, instead of those fees going to the rich people behind the New York Stock Exchange, for example, or Coinbase or Gemini, those fees are instead going to you as a staker. There isn't a ton of volume in the Seeds Ether pool just yet, so you probably won't earn a ton in fees, at least based on what we know right now, but they exist, and so that can be an added benefit. So it's best to read about this on our site, seedsgives.com, so you can see all the specifics, but in a nutshell, it's a 50% bonus based on the new Ether you stake. It's important to realize that that means it has to be Ether that isn't already in the Seeds pool. So if you sell a bunch of seeds to get Ether and then you stake it, that doesn't count because it doesn't help us grow the pool. It's just moving things around in the pool that already were there. So you need to bring a new Ether and you'd stake that with your seeds. Because it's a 50% bonus, for example, if you stake, say, $100 worth of new Ether by the end of January 2023, you'll then receive $50 worth of seeds if you leave that staked through the end of the year. We'll send the bonuses to you by no later than early January 2024. So those are the three benefits for you when you choose to stake in the Seeds Ether pool: airdrops, earned fees, and then the bonus itself. Staking itself in the Seeds Ether pool is helpful to other people because it creates the marketplace so that we can get financial help, financial assistance, and provide financial access to people all around the world, even in places like South Sudan, which is often ranked the most difficult place to live in the world. The government doesn't issue women in South Sudan IDs in a lot of instances based on what we've learned from friends we made there. And because they don't have IDs, they can't open bank accounts. However, virtually everyone has a mobile phone and an internet connection, and therefore they can use decentralized platforms like Uniswap, the platform we're going to stake on, so they can get cryptocurrency and trade it and ultimately use it. Another way you're helping others when you choose to stake in the Seeds Ether pool has to do with helping us transcend all the gatekeeping in traditional finance. Less than 2% of all venture capital dollars went to female-founded startups, tech projects like Seeds in 2021, and that's even worse than the year before, 2%. So as a female founder, I've run into a shit ton of misogyny in the sector, which often made it, I had to become very resourceful to keep Seeds going in the years when things were tougher. But because we're creating a pool ourselves, we're creating a marketplace ourselves, we don't have to appeal to a gatekeeper in order to make trades on a market. We can create the market ourselves with just an internet connection, effectively. So that's what's so exciting about DeFi, decentralized finance. We don't have to deal with that system. We can just go over here and build something together ourselves to support one another. And when you're choosing to stake, that's what you're contributing to, which I think is really cool. All right. So first things first, it's super important to make sure you're going to the correct website, obviously, but even more so because there have been recent scams that I've really started to see like in the last 6 to 10 months, maybe, in which fake sites will pose as DeFi platforms like Uniswap to try and trick you into connecting your wallet so that they can then drain your wallet. So the site we're using is app.uniswap.org. And it's a really good idea, like as a best practice, to bookmark that website. So that way you always know you're going to the correct website and you're not being rerouted without your knowledge to another scam site that's going to try and take your funds. So now that we're here on Uniswap, what we want to do is go to pool. So I'm going to click on pool and then I'm going to click on new position. Now you can see over here that there are a couple tabs up top right. It'll default to Ethereum, so we can just leave that there. And then here, it's going to want us to connect our wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect mine so you can see what this looks like. Here, it just shows connect. When you want to connect a wallet, it'll give you a few options. These are the two we tend to recommend, MetaMask and Coinbase Wallet, because even though Coinbase isn't very trustworthy, their products are of good quality, and we've never had any trouble with either of these two wallets. So if you're looking for wallet recommendations, we'd suggest using one of these two. This option we have here is a self-custody wallet. Coinbase has other products that are not self-custody wallets. When you're using a DeFi platform like Uniswap, you're only going to be connecting your self-custody wallet to that platform, which is really awesome because it means you control your wallet. You have access to your keys. You have access to the mnemonic for your wallet. You're not putting yourself at risk in the way that you would have if you're using a platform like, for example, FTX, which failed a few months ago. The way to avoid those failures, like the FTX failure and BlockFi and Celsius and Voyager, virtually every failure that happened in 2022, which was actually about poor centralization practices, is to keep your money in a self-custody wallet like those provided by MetaMask or Coinbase Wallet. And the way to know if it's self-custody is, do you have access to your private key or your mnemonic, or don't you? If you don't have access to it, you're probably using a centralized exchange, almost certainly. Today, I'm going to use MetaMask, and the wallet I'm going to use is already auto connecting up here. You can see most of its address. Prior to starting up this demo, I have also added seeds and ether to this wallet. So you're going to need both seeds and ether in the wallet. If you want to maximize what you can get out of the bonus, you'll want to bring in as much ether as you are comfortable bringing in. So I'll show you how that can look. And then I'm selecting seeds as well. Seeds might not show up in this pull down. If it doesn't show up here, you can search for seeds using the seeds contract address, and you can find the seeds contract address on our website, seedsgives.com, in the FAQ. Because I've added seeds previously, they're already showing up for me in this pull down. Okay, so we've selected the Ether seeds pair. By default, it'll go to the 0.3% fee tier, which is the only option we have. So that's fine. Now, when we're looking at this, we can see that it's showing the balances that I have in this wallet. I have 2.272 Ether in this wallet and 165,700 seeds right now. So again, if I want to maximize the bonus, which I do, I want to stake as much Ether as possible. The thing you have to remember, though, too, is that there's going to be a transfer cost, which is paid in Ether. So you can't fully max this out. You'll have to make it slightly less than what the max is in order to cover that transfer cost or gas cost. Then the other thing to pay attention to is this weird, badly designed graph on the right. The gray line here is where seeds are currently trading. You can see up here it says that the current price is 35,829.5 seeds per Ether, which is what this gray line represents. And then we can move these, and then you'll notice that the min price over here changed, and so did the amount of seeds that need to be staked in order to complete this transaction. If you're staking in a narrower range with a min price and max price that are closer together, that can help maximize the amount of fees that you earn. If the trading goes outside of that range that you've established, if it went below 32,244 seeds per Ether, for example, you'd no longer be earning fees on that position. But again, for the purposes of our bonus, it doesn't really matter, at least based on what we know right now. The other thing it's helpful to be mindful of is that if and when your position goes out of range, so again, if it goes below this minimum price or above this maximum price, you're then going to have 100% of one of the two cryptocurrencies in the pair. And by design, it's going to be the less desirable of the cryptocurrencies at that moment in time, because the reason it went out of range is because people wanted the other cryptocurrency more at that moment. This isn't a big deal because you can always just unstake and then sell your cryptocurrency for whatever cryptocurrency you want, but it's something to just be aware that can happen. You can kind of game this if you're trying to strategize to get the best bonus you can, to max out your ether for a smaller amount of seeds so that you then still have seeds later that you can stake with more ether. So like if I make this range bigger, suddenly I have to stake a lot more seeds. But if I make the range more narrow, it's less seeds that are required to complete this. So maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll get it even tighter. So now I'm staking 69,000 seeds. And I'm going to preview the position. And I'm going to click add. Now you can't see this, but MetaMask is popping a dialog box asking me to approve the transaction, and it's estimating the gas fee. Right now it says that the maximum transaction cost I might have to pay for this is $22.77. That's too much. I don't want to pay that right now. I know that people staked for like $6 pretty recently. So because this is a variable cost, I'm just going to wait and hopefully it'll go down if I look at this again at, like later at night or something like that. So I'm going to reject that right now, but that's how that'll play out. Thank you so much for your interest in staking in the Seeds Ether pool. At Seeds, we're working to transcend zero-sum extractive capitalism by creating paradigms where giving people who are trying to be generous benefit through giving. And when you choose to stake in the Seeds Ether pool, you're doing something that's good for you and is good for other people. So it's this win-win, and we really, really appreciate it.